Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last video on 70s rockers Bachman Turner Overdrive, and through this song, You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet, we looked at the inner conviction that sometimes we need when we can look ourselves in the mirror and say, you ain't seen nothing yet. So trust you found that one an encouragement. Well, it was March 2020 and the world changed forever. Borders started to get locked down. Families got separated. People could not leave their houses. And this pandemic that has took the world by surprise took over the world. And maybe for the first time in a long time, there was something bigger than humanity that humanity had to deal with. And of course, countless lives have been lost through this pandemic, and many people have just been changed forever because of this pandemic. And so it was in March 2020, the world was in chaos, the world had changed, and something needed to happen. Something needed to rise up, something needed to bring hope into this world during that time. And it was in a Christian community in Charlotte, North Carolina, that got together the Elevation community, Karaoke, Cody Carnes, Stephen Furtick and Chris Brown got together and said, we need to write a song here. And after a couple of hours, apparently, which was a pretty special time for them, apparently they got really convicted, and a melody and words came very, very easily for these four. And out came the blessing. Now, before we get on to the song, let's just look first of all what blessing actually is. If you give a blessing to someone, what are you actually doing? You're actually not just saying, gee, I hope your life's going to be okay and all the rest of it. What you're actually saying is, I want more than words for your life. I want your life to be special and full and rich, full of joy, full of peace, and full of making positive differences in the world. And so there's something also about blessings too that, they go beyond words often, because it's the inner urges that we have that we really would just want the best for who we're giving the blessing to. So please keep that in mind as we talk a little bit more about this song. And so it was in around that time, the blessing was first played in a church, and the rest is history since then. Because what actually happened, and what has happened to churches over the last little while, is that they've had to go online. So whereas people used to gather every Sunday and do what they do, they've actually had to go online, and so musicians would often be playing in their own houses, and then someone would mix it all together. People would preach from their homes. People would gather online, and that's certainly what happened here. So, but what happened since the blessing was released was that the concept of people singing this song in just in their own home, but somehow bringing it together, has really taken off. And there are at least 100 virtual choirs around the world that have done this song, bringing hope to their congregations. A lot of these videos are actually online on YouTube as well. So the hope, I suppose, has been that they bring hope to the world during what has been quite a trying time for all of us, really. And so that's what happened. And certainly a little bit later, I think it was around May 2020, out came the global choir version. Now, this is the version I've actually got in the description below for you to have a look at. There are so many countries here. There are people of all sorts of ages, all sorts of languages, all sorts of everything, as well as the Ballantine folk in the US kind of leading it a little bit here, but very much a global choir here. This is the incredible things that churches have had to do over the last little while to work out what we can do with technology when we can't actually meet together. And so instead of this just being a little song that was sung to one congregation, this has become a global phenomenon, this song, and well and truly has brought hope to the world. In fact, it's won 2 GMA Dove Awards and it's even had a Grammy nomination, this song. This is how significant this song is. And so, and if, as you watch this clip, and it does go on for a little while, but as I've said to you before, this is a blessing. Now, this is a classic case of the song going beyond words. And certainly for me, as I listen to the lyrics about, he is for you. Now they're talking about God there in that particular instance, but he's not just there for you. He's there for your families. He's there for your loved ones. He's there for your future generations. And he's still, believe it or not, got this world in his hands. Now we can get into why does God allow this stuff to happen? It's a really interesting question. And I could provide an answer, but it's just not going to be so inadequate. The only thing that I can really say is that, I really understand why Elevation brought this song out and what they were trying to do here. They're trying to bring hope to the world in what was a pretty hopeless situation. So what happens to us as human beings when we are confronted with something like this? We can either curl up into a ball or we can try and make a positive difference. And this is certainly what this song has done. So as you watch this song and you do know it, just get carried away with how many countries are involved here, how many people are involved here, how many children are in this, how many languages are in this, just caught up in the whole thing and realise that this is a call to the whole human race here. May his favour, God's favour, be upon everybody, because he is still around despite everything that's been happening. So I probably won't, and so the reason, just to say, because the reason it goes on for 12 minutes is because they're just urging this whole blessing. They're really, really intensely wanting this blessing for the whole world, and sometimes it takes a while as you get caught and swept up in the moment. And I can just imagine being in this studio as I was recording this song, how incredibly powerful it would have been to be there and to be part of it. And so you've just got to appreciate and enjoy the moment for what it is. And certainly what was very trying circumstances at the time. So as you look at this song today, may this song bring you hope. May this song bring you some peace. And certainly as we do continue to go through this thing right now, my hope is that you will be blessed by this song as you listen to it today. So I trust that will be an encouragement for you. Well, if you've come back for another video, or if this is your first time to Life Reflections Through Music, thank you for everybody for hanging around. Thank you for the engagement and all the rest of it. And so that's it for today. Next time we're going to go on to one of the artists of the music industry pretty well. It doesn't get much bigger than this guy. And because of this, we need to give him a couple of videos. One of the highest album sellers of all time as well. When we think of songs such as Your Song, Candle in the Wind, I'm Still Standing, Rocket Man, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, It's Hard to Say I'm Sorry, and a whole heap of others, Belgium, and a whole heap of others, quite a few really. The Lion King, he wrote that. He's done so many songs, this guy. He's been doing this thing for such a long time. And of course, who we're talking about, Sir Elton John. So we're going to get on to 2 videos for him next time. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.